So tell me, if you had the power to turn back the hands of time, what day in your life would you want to take out?
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
That should be a day that my boyfriend caught me in an awkward situation with his best friend.
No. Carry on.
I met my boyfriend through his friend KY, and KY was also my friend. And now KY was the one that brought me to their cycle. Like play, like joke. You just look at me and say, you and Charles go match each other. Honestly, he wasn't wrong. His friend was calm, very outspoken, and intentional at what he does. He was someone that has direction. Being with him felt like my life was actually calming down. And that's how it started. We started dating and everyone and everything was okay. Then my whole problem now started. The house I was staying in. My landlord said the house had structural issues. Something about the house being deteriorated over time and it wasn't actually safe. So they're saying they need to renovate and rebuild some part of the house before anything else will happen. Basically, we were asked to move out from the house for our own safety. So we were given 2 weeks notice. And it was something I didn't plan for. I didn't have enough money at that time to look for a new place to stay. I got friends, but nothing. Everybody had one or two things to say and complaints. So I got tired of everything. Honestly, I didn't know what to do at the moment. Then I called Charles and told him I might just travel to the village for a while, and he didn't allow it. So he suggested I should come stay in his place till everything was sorted out. At first I didn't agree, but he insisted, so I have to move in with him for the meantime. Few days later, he was called for a job at Asaba because he works as a sound engineer in one production company.
Okay.
And his kind of job can take him out of the town for weeks. And this particular one might take him almost 2 weeks because he had to finish his whole project before coming back. So before he left, he called KY, his friend, and I was there when he said it. He said, "Guy, I beg, help me to check up on my woman. I know we'll be around for a while."
That's what I do for you. Hey!
He didn't sound like anything serious because that's his friend, and he was the same person that introduced me to his friend. The first few days after Charles left, I was just alone, trying to sort out my life.
Okay.
KY started coming around. At first, it was just check up and question like, "Have you eaten?" And sometimes he will bring food for me, and sometimes we just gist and he will go back. One day I went to his place, and if you ask me the reason why I went there, I can't actually explain. Maybe I was bored, maybe I didn't just want to be alone. So I stayed till it was late. So when I was about leaving, he didn't approve of me going. So I just have to spend the night at his place.
Dang! Oh God!
It was raining that night, so we just sat down and we were gisting. No TV, no distraction, just only voices. And we even talked about Charles that night and life. And at some point, everywhere became too quiet. And I remember him asking, "Are you okay?" And I quickly said yes. And he came close to me. One thing led to another. I won't lie, I didn't stop him. And it seems as if I've been expecting it and I've been wanting it too.
How are you telling me this?
And he didn't stop either. So the rain was still falling, and definitely he happened. The next morning, I felt something I've never felt before. Not just guilt, but confusion. And I kept asking myself, how did I get here?
Wonder.
And I pushed it away by telling myself it was just a mistake and it will never happen again. But the truth is, I went back and it didn't feel like a mistake anymore.
Oh, Jesus.
Charles came back after 2 weeks. Everything went back to normal, at least on the surface. When he came back, he sorted a small apartment for me. I started getting my life back, but KY was still there. One day, KY told me he thinks he's in love with me, At first, I laughed because it sounded funny and wrong. But when I went home that night, I found out that I was feeling the same thing for this guy. And that was where my confusion started, because I was in love with two people at the same time.
What do you mean? How? How have you... Oh, man.
I know it sounds stupid because it doesn't make any sense, but instead of me choosing, I decided to keep the both of them.
Yeah?
Since the other one knew about the other guy, I thought maybe it was going to be easy. And that was where my life started crumbling down. For months, I lived like that. I would be with Charles, laughing and acting normal. Then I would still find my way back to KY. Even when I knew I was supposed to stop, I didn't, because Charles trusted me completely. But as we all know, all lies have a way of coming back, no matter how long we hide it.
Exactly.
So one day, Charles had a local project in the same state where I think he was called to be a sound engineer for a podcast with kids. He told me he might come back late in the night or maybe the next day, because you can't predict kid shooting with kids.
I don't understand.
Well, you guess what I did next?
You went to KY's place.
Yeah. And unfortunately for us, Charles came back earlier than expected. He didn't go back to his place, he came directly to his friend's place.
I don't want trouble.
I didn't know what to explain to him without sounding stupid with the position he saw me with KY.
How?
Literally, I was in his towel and sitting on his lap when he barged in. He just looked at both of us without a word coming out of his mouth. He was trying to understand and go through what's going on. And he said, "What exactly is going on here?" I could not utter a word, neither could KY. The next thing, the both of them started fighting, like real fights. Charles, my boyfriend, kept shouting, "You out of everyone." I was just crying, trying to hold him. Now, KY was not trying to fight back. He was just trying to defend himself because he knew he was the offender. So he accidentally pushed Charles to the floor.
Yeah?
Mistakenly, Charles hit his head at the edge of the bed frame, and the sound, I could still hear it even till now. He became unconscious immediately. Blood was everywhere. I swear, in that moment, I thought I've taken someone's life. We quickly rushed him to the hospital, and thanks to God, he survived. But not without consequences, because the doctor said he had a traumatic injury. They said something like he had intracranial hemorrhage, like internal bleeding or something.
Jesus.
At some point, he wasn't even responding to treatment. I couldn't hold myself because I could see a man that is so calm, fighting for his life because of me. As of KY, he was arrested but later released. The condition became so critical that they have to fly him out of the country for proper treatment. And since then, I haven't heard a word about him again, and all I just want is his forgiveness. I could not stay in the city anymore because every corner reminded me of what I did. I left everything, I carried what I could, and I left back to the village because I couldn't breathe anymore. I thought it could help, but it didn't because the guilt went with me. There are nights I don't sleep. I just stay up and think about one decision that destroyed one prominent man's life. As it stands now, I don't even pray for love anymore. I just pray he survive and he wakes up fully and become himself again. And if he ever sees this, whenever, I just hope he can forgive me. Not because I deserve it, but I don't know how to live with the guilt anymore because it's eating me alive.